Hello, everyone. David Halls here from Royal LePage Royal City Realty here in Guelph, Ontario. Just a quick question. Are interest rates too high for me to be able to buy a house, for you to be able to buy a house? And the answer might surprise you. You may be able to afford your dream home more today than you could have a year ago. And I'm going to show you why. Let me get my face out of the way here. And we're looking at a chart with some data. There's some assumptions, but I'll explain things as we go along. Looking in the city of Guelph, that's where I practice. These numbers come from the Guelph and District Real Estate Board, so they're accurate data for what's going on in the city of Guelph. If we look at the average price of a single detached home 1 year ago in February 2022, the average price was $1,122,000 and change. Now, as you all know, unless you've been living under a rock, we've had a significant market correction and prices have come down a lot since then, on average about 25%. So in February this year, that same house was going to be approximately $857,000 and change. Quite a difference. Okay, so the product you're looking at is much less expensive. That's the good news. Interest rates, however, that's the stuff that's in the news right now, and that's what's has most people very concerned. Last year, an average 5-year term, 5-year term fixed mortgage rate was at about 3.29%. Up or down a little bit, depending on who you talk to and what day and everything, but that was kind of the average. This year, last month, that same mortgage product was on average 4.99%. So up quite a bit. And that, that's what has people freaked out quite a bit, understandably, is those interest rates have really jumped up. In Canada, with our stress tests that we're required to, that means last year you had to stress test for a payment of 5.29%, and this year it's almost 7%. So yeah, 7%. That's a big number when we're used to seeing such low numbers of the past year or so. But let's look at what that is in reality. Okay, if we look at the price of a home, the average price of that home a year ago at 1.1, etc., million dollars, because the mortgage or because the property was more than $1 million, you had to put down 20%. That was the minimum. You had to be able to put down 20% in order to get a mortgage. On that property, that down payment would have been approximately $224,000. Okay, that's the money you had to have in your pocket to put down. It also meant that your mortgage, at the end of the day, the amount of money you're borrowing was $897,000 and change. Whack of money. Because you were putting down 20% because you're mandated, there was no insurance premium. So that's the good news. And if we looked at a 30-year amortization with a 5-year term, the interest rate was 3.29. That meant your monthly payments were going to be $3,900 and change. That's a significant monthly chunk. At the end of the 5-year term, the balance of how much money is left owing is $802,000. So after 5 years of paying almost $4,000 a month, you still owe over 800 grand on that house. All right. If we looked at the stress test, that meant you had to qualify for almost a $5,000 a month payment. Okay, so that was 1 year ago. Let's look at this year, February this year. The average price was, as we said, $857,000 and change. We no longer are forced to put down 20%. We can do less than that. However, if you're under the 20% threshold, of course, you get into insurance premiums and whatnot. So let's just leave it at 20%. We're going to, in that case, put down $171,000 roughly as the deposit. That means that your mortgage amount, when we're done, the amount you're borrowing is $686,000 roughly. Same amortization, 30 years, the new higher rate of almost 5%. And that means your monthly payment ends up being $3,650 and change. What's more important, though, what I really find interesting is look at the balance on maturity. At the end of that 5 years, not only have you put down less money up front, put down or paid less money each month, the amount that you're left owing is $630,000. That's a whopping change. Let's take a look at the difference here. Purchase price was $265,000 less. The down payment was $50,000+ less. The mortgage amount, how much you're borrowing, was over $200,000 less. No insurance premium because both were 20% down payment. The interest rate, yeah, the interest rate was up quite a bit, but your monthly payment was actually, even with the increased interest rate, the monthly payment was less by almost $260 because of the lower amount for the home. But here's the one that's a kicker, is at the end of the 5-year term, balance of maturity, $172,000 less that you owed after your 5 years. So you're paying less for the house, you're paying less monthly, you owe less money at the end of the day. Yeah, the interest rates are higher. So what? Look at where we are in 5 years. And the hope is in 5 years that maybe interest rates have tempered a bit again. Now, all these numbers are based on a 5-year term, made some assumptions like your debt ratio is a certain percentage, et cetera. These are all things that you need to speak to your mortgage people about, not your realtor. We can help you out with finding that perfect dream home. You want to talk to your mortgage professional, your bank, your mortgage broker. This handsome fellow here, Rob Campbell, was the guy who provided me this chart. So thank you, Rob. Appreciate that. There you go. If you are thinking that you are just priced out of the market because of the interest rates, let's look at the total package. This is why it's really important to speak to a mortgage professional before you make any big decisions on should I buy, shouldn't I buy. You may well be able to get into your dream home better today, more affordable today, with less money at the end of your term than you could 1 year ago. There you go. If you have any questions, give me a call. Talk to your mortgage professional. Let us know if we can help you with your real estate needs.